They had said that it's a cultural divide, honey. That's what they said. They said it's a cultural divide. They had said, they tried to rig the game, but you cannot fake influence. And it's giving heavy on the influence because you cannot fake that. Period. I'm just telling you what was said. Okay. Now hear me, hear ye. Hey, bitch. Y'all already know how this go. I'm not talking. I'm not talking unless you giving me likes, you commenting, and you subscribing. You hear me? Good. Listen. So I was out and about, right? And I saw that Kenya Moore dropped this. Now I don't even know if Kenya made an announcement on the video dropping. Okay. So I was out and about. I saw she dropped it. So on my way home, I listened to it, right? But I didn't have the time to capture all of the notes or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a girl is driving, I'm trying to be safe on the highways. Okay. And so I said, you know what? We just gonna go live. We gonna get into it together. All right. We're gonna listen to it together. I may put some stuff on the screen, but then most of the time we just gonna be listening to it, okay? And we just gonna talk about it as we go. Now I will say, first time around hearing it, I feel like I'm still processing how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because some parts I was glad she was speaking. You know what I'm saying? Some parts I was like, "Ooh, Kenya, they finna try and drag you," because they feel like a lot of your speaking points are what a lot of us people have already been saying. Us, reviewers, fans, and stuff like that. And then also there's a part where I'm like, "Ooh, Kenya, damn, they not gonna have you back. Like it's giving done, just a little piece, right?" And I'm definitely hoping that's not the case, because I also feel like somebody shouldn't be not allowed to talk or share their experience and be fearful of getting an opportunity again. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's how they felt, I think it should be fair that they express how they feel and y'all not trying to be on something. We're not gonna give you an opportunity because you sat up there, you talked against us, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like hopefully we see each other. But I do want us to listen to it together and see what she's talking about. Um I mean, there's a portion of the other interview that I really did appreciate as well. So we're just gonna check it out. Okay.
So I want to start off by referencing something that means so much to me, especially right now.
I already see her.
It is a quote from
to.
Kendrick Lamar. Wait, what's the quote? Oh, okay.
And can I say this? Somebody sent me a video of Kenya with Mark Daly and her daughter. Now I don't know what the hell, because I thought Kenya had got a divorce last year, but then I just don't know because I thought they still were dealing with things, legally with their marriage and stuff. So it's like at this point, I don't even know if those people together or they divorced or what the hell going on, for real, for real. But the fact that she still got that big ass ring on her finger, it's giving, are they divorced? And I also find it interesting at times where, we don't really like Mark, but if something happens, he be ready to speak out in defense of Kenya. So I don't know. I don't understand that relationship, but I guess it ain't for me to understand. I'd rather him to be supporting her during her time of need than, coming up against her publicly. You feel what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Okay, I'm being serious. Okay. They try to rig the game, but they cannot fake influence. Ooh. They, who they is, tried it, girl, tried to rig the game, meaning, hey, we're going to try to make you think this over here. You cannot fake influence. And I am influential. Hey, everyone, it's your girl, Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore hair care. Kenya Moore hair spa. Kenya Moore YouTube.
Girl, they ran down to the tube. You hear me?
This is my first ever YouTube content that I'm putting out myself. And I'm so proud of myself because I am taking back the narrative instead of everyone speaking on me and, quite frankly, everyone making money off of me. That part. Even sitting down in the interview chair, I haven't done that
making money, girl.
Years.
Just a little piece, just so you know. Okay, just a little. Okay, but I feel like that was shade to Porsha. That wasn't shade to me.
So guess what? I'm doing it for you. Thank you for joining me. And be sure to subscribe because you do not want to miss any of this hot, smoking, piping hot tea. Let's get into it. Let's get into the receipts, okay? More receipts. I have more receipts for you. And I want to just talk about some things that I have been seeing out in the atmosphere that are completely laughable, most of it, but also in a lot of ways just really dumb. Yeah, I said it, dumb. Porsha, in her recent YouTube, alluded to another housewife sending me the photos of the now infamous photos that were shown during my spa opening.
I know for a fact that one of these housewives who is still on the show is the one who gave Kenya a big part of that nude information.
So number one, that's a lie. That's a lie.
I'm screaming. I'm
That's a lie. The photos were
I'm screaming. Because, Porsha, that lie got debunked so fast, and I need to know who you was going to put it off on. Because I will say, y'all, in the previous episode, it did make me think about Angela, and I'm like, Angela, the way that you on Brit's ass. Like, was it you? Did you send Kenya anything?
Line on various porn sites. Many porn sites. I don't watch porn. I'm not a porn expert. I don't enjoy it. I don't participate. I don't get anything from it. Okay. I would like to just rather see my own body in action, maybe in a mirror or something like that. But I'm not going to sit there and watch porn. The investigators and everyone involved, not including Sidora, found those images, and they're still there. That brings me to Ming Lee. Someone said that Ming Lee was somehow involved because they know each other, and Ming said out of her own mouth that she has a lot of evidence of Britt Edie's past performances, gigs. Let me say this for the people in the back. We did not get any photos from any person. They came directly from a search online. The photos that were revealed are not considered revenge porn. I went so far as, oh my God, did I do something wrong? I don't know this lady. I don't know any of her ex-boyfriends. I don't know any of her ex-friends. I've never seen this lady before in my life. I want to make sure I didn't break any laws. So I engaged a local attorney who advised me about the federal law as well as the Georgia state law. I shared photos that were readily available online.
Okay, so now I know y'all finna beat me up, girl, but just back up off me just a little piece, okay? Because I ain't got my gloves on right now, ho, okay? And I'm really not trying to fight for real because I do sue just a little bit, okay? Understand? So I was wondering about that too, whether or not she was really in trouble. Because y'all remember when Sierra Marie had came down? I ain't had no around when I was growing up. That's why I'm wild and I don't give up. And maybe that's why she was so wild and didn't give a fuck so much that she decided to sort that man Zickowicz. And he had put it down to the internet. Remember when that man had exposed us down to the internet? And then it had went hella viral? Y'all remember that with Sierra Marie? And then 50 Cent had reposted an image of what was already out there. And we thought he was going to get in trouble. But for some reason, he actually did not get in trouble. And I was wondering about that. And y'all probably could clarify for me in the comments because this is what I'm wondering. If he did not get in trouble because it was already out there and it was put out by somebody else. Now, I don't know if she went after, what was the man's name? Akbar. What was his name? Was it Akbar or something? I don't know if she went after the man. I can't recall, but I do remember her going after 50 Cent, and the judge said, Uno, reverse, okay? Reverse, because we finna hit you with it. And I don't even remember why she was the one that had to pay and not him when he the one that put her out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear Kenya say this, I'm like, oh, damn, maybe she wasn't in trouble. And she did say she engaged with an attorney. And that's what I was wondering the whole time. If the information had already been out there, how would it necessarily be RP? Now, hold what you got, okay? Now, I understand that it was given a piece of revenge because she was trying to get that up out of there, period. That's what it was given for sure. And I understand that it was given PRN because that's what was on the photo. However, I was just questioning, is that, for real, RP? For her, considering the fact that the images were already out there, it wasn't like private images that she had put out there. But it could, I don't know. I don't know. She said she went to the attorney. I didn't go to no attorney. Okay, I'm just trying to use the brain that I got, and it's not a legal one. It's not a legal brain. It's just a brain that got questions. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see if somebody said something in the comments real quick. Okay. Oh, yikey dikey. Okay, 50 said did the same thing to Tierra Marie and Marie. Okay, so you okay. All right, so you said that either after I said what I was saying or as I was typing. But either way, I feel like we were seeing each other just a little piece because I'm sure I was gonna bring that up. Okay, but anywho, let's keep going, child.
I did not commit revenge porn. I shared a publicly available photo that was accessible online. If I showed Kim Kardashian's sex tape right now, is that revenge porn? It's not. And then while we're talking about that, I've already said it was wrong. I should not have done it at my salon, this beautiful salon that I've worked so hard for, that I spent a lot of money on, that money that could have been spent in other areas, including supporting my child. So yes, I am very sorry that I shared the photos because it wasn't right, but I did not break the law. And I'm very sorry for what I did. So in the comfort of my own home, I was joking around.
I got to pause right there because this isn't much different than well, I'll say this. I do recall Kenya apologizing previously on the Tamron Hall show. So she's apologizing again here, and then there will be yet another apology on, for showing the photos. But my question to you guys is whether or not you feel like that's a good enough apology for Brit. Or if you just feel like that's just an apology is an apology and Brit should take what she said as an apology to her as well. Or do you feel like it should have been like a more personable apology? I don't know. I feel like, I don't think she's sorry for exposing that. That woman. I don't think she's sorry for exposing a woman. I think she's just sorry for how she did it. You know? That's what I think. Because that's just my thoughts on that.
My bestie, which I always do, my very best friend, Brandon DeShazer. We were having a dispute on the show with Phaedra, and I was in my closet and I brought out one of my firearms, and I'm like, oh, do I have to use this on Phaedra tonight? Giggling, ha, 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 he. Phaedra was not around, nowhere to be present. Phaedra never saw it. I never said it in any threatening way. I was not upset. You cannot compare apples to oranges. If you want to do that, does Phaedra sitting on the reunion couch with her taser ready for me count? Okay, moving on.
Tell us about your first interaction with Brit and why you feel like she misinterpreted your energy.
Oh, I don't think she misinterpreted anything. It was all very calculated. So the first interaction I had with all of the ladies was actually really pleasant. I was excited to meet them. It was season 16. I'm like, oh my God, this is season 16. I'm the only one standing that's a real OG, 12, 13 years in, and I felt like I could be mother to everyone. I'm a mother, okay? Show these girls I've been through the fire. I know what it's like to be a newbie. I know what it's like to be here. I know everything that could possibly happen has happened to me on this show. And I felt like I could speak, as someone that could be supportive, could read a girl if she's wrong. And my first interaction with all of the newbies, I was like, oh, you girls are so pretty. Kelly was there, Brittany was there, everyone was there except for Angela at the moment, and also Drew. And I just remember coming in just being very pleasant to everyone, and there was an issue about a ring that someone made. I feel as though that was clearly a made-up issue. If someone has an engagement ring on and not a wedding band, not the other way around, because if you just have on one ring and it's just a circular ring, that's usually a wedding band. Now, you could choose to wear whatever you want to wear on your hand. No one's saying that. I was confused at what she was saying about it being a new ring or a different ring, or her second ring is actually what she said. I'm like, oh, you've been married before? I don't know this girl. I never seen her before in my life. Right. So again, you're wearing an engagement ring. I'm assuming that either you're engaged or you're I don't think you could be anything else. I think my fans know and I'm being shady. I think they call me the shade assassin for a reason. That wasn't shady. We know what my shady looks like. let's move on. It wasn't shady. So after I saw her and, you know, we had the whole moment again about the hug was a very awkward. I don't like to hug. If you see me out in public, I will probably never hug you because I do believe people transfer energy to you and you have to really kind of know someone and know where they're coming from to hug them. So I don't really hug people that I don't know. That's not a crime. That is a boundary that I have for myself, and people need to respect that. It's not personal. Then we get to the next time I see her, the Balmain event. I'm like, oh, you look so beautiful, like a Balmain Barbie. You look amazing. Hi, Balmain Barbie. How are you? Yes. Hi. You know, I hugged her then, hugged her when I saw her another time, hugged her at the dinner.
That was a pat. That was a pat. That wasn't a hug.
That's a hug without getting makeup on me. And she was complaining every step of the way. And I'm like, this girl has very bad energy, but I paid it dust and I just went on to have a good time because I was actually having a really good time at the dinner before it went left. So the whole thing about being targeted, her being targeted by me, people asking her if I did something to her, she can't answer why, because it didn't happen. Do you want to know what I really think happened? I think that when she was interviewing for Real Housewives of Atlanta, she wanted the villain role. She wanted to come after me because she felt like, okay, well, Porsha wasn't there at the time. I was, right? And I believe that she made them promises that she was going to come after me. She was going to be this girl that could read, this girl that was doing all this, you know. And when she met me, Porsha flushed this out.
Pause. So y'all know what that made me think of? That made me think of, y'all remember somebody, it made me think of Nicki Minaj ultimately, right? When somebody had said that when they were trying to get like a deal or something like that, the person asked them if they're going to be ready to come up against Nicki Minaj or whatever like that. You want to come against the queen? So I'm over here looking like, yo, they ask questions like that. I guess they would in different interviews when you're trying to get onto the show. Maybe they do post the questions like, you know, you're gonna have to go after the old heads or da 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 da. So maybe she did feel like that's what she needed to do in order to stay on the show. So let me find some issue with Kenya, not so much as Porsha. Or maybe it was a situation where Kelly said, I got Porsha and you got Kenya. I just feel like Kelly and Porsha kind of did theirs a bit better. You know what I'm saying? Than what Miss Britt did, because I don't know. I mean, I feel like Bristol was trying to create an issue for real, whereas Kelly just hit you with your shit that was already out there. You know, and you could get mad, but you really couldn't get mad for real. Like everybody was saying it. So I don't know, maybe. But y'all messy for that, producers. It was a scheme that y'all set up to console her with that beat. Anywho.
She was surprised and thrown off that I was so nice. Because I am nice. I don't really bother people unless they bother me. We know I retaliate. We know that's what I do. I'm not saying it's always right, but I'm not going to let anybody run over me. And I have no reason to not like someone that I don't know. And I was always nice to the girls. The point is, I think she overpromised what she would do on the show. The first 3 weeks of filming, she was exceptionally boring. There was nothing outstanding about her. She didn't come in. She wasn't dressed in designer clothes from head to toe. Her husband wasn't particularly interesting. Like, no, not trying to throw shade in the husband. Sorry about that. But there was just nothing in the group scenes that I saw her in that made me think, oh, that's a star baby. I was actually more captivated by Kelly and Angela. And of course, I knew Shamia already. I knew her personality. But she was failing. Like, she was dull. Okay? So I think when she kept trying to come after me, and I just was like, okay, girl, I see you. You're trying to have a moment. You're falling flat. This is your 3 weeks in. Producers are probably asking you, girl, when are you going to show up? And you thought, okay, I'm going to show up tonight. And I think was her downfall from there. This is the biggest question that I have for the people that come on reality TV that have a shady past that you're not proud of. Okay, we've all done things in our past we're not proud of. Nobody was perfect. To the Simons, to the Chrisleys, it went from someone saying you're 17 age of consent to, oh wait, that's not going to track. Okay, let me just say I was underage. No. So that's what I just don't understand. Like, I'm not even going to open that can of worms, because my whole question and line of questioning would be completely different from everybody else's. I would want to know, if you're going to make us daily, you need to prove, because we already know you're capable of lying, right? Excuse me 1 second. Okay, wow. Another Google alert.
Not the Google alerts being on.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I don't understand why any person would come on reality TV when they have done things in the past or are currently doing things that they don't want to be found out. Why? And then to give someone a reason to expose you. In the words of Samuel L. Jackson, am I the only sane motherfucker here? Like really? Am I the only sane person in the room? Why?
Not God.
Because they're so egotistical, they don't think they'll be found out. Like, okay, wow. You paid to scrub the internet out of your own words. Okay. Well, they left some dust in the corner. And over there in behind her too.
I will say and be honest and ask if Britt really did go about scrubbing the information from the internet, because in the past week I feel like people have found so much information. So was things really scrubbed, or are you saying that as a way to make the situation even more worse, which is why I felt she did that with the kept saying she was a teenager. Right? I was a teenager to make it sound worse than what it is, even though you may have been 18 or 19 at the time, which would therefore actually be legal. So I have to question it. Let me see what Jami said. They say her other cast members hide stuff as well and decided to bring themselves on the national TV to be challenged. Yikes! I would have to say that about Angela just a little piece, because I feel like when Angela came on her, she didn't really give us all of that. So people had to kind of like do a little bit of calculating, because we still trying to figure out about this other child that Mr. Oakley done had.
A lot of people say that I had never taken accountability for anything, and that's simply not true. And I went on Tamron Hall. I was promoting my daughter's book. The issue came up, and I said I take full accountability. I am not playing a victim. I'm telling my own truth. I ultimately chose to go on Tamron Hall because I really needed to publicly take accountability for my actions. I mean, sharing that photo at my own salon opening was a serious lapse in judgment. Everybody can possibly now understand that it was definitely not the smartest thing to do. And I deeply regret that I hurt anyone that was involved, including the cast, including Brittany, including the crew, including any of the guests that were there to come to celebrate me. I mean, this platform gave me a chance to sincerely apologize and not to excuse what I did, but to own it fully. Sometimes.
So y'all heard that. I feel like this is about the third time Kenya done came to the front and she has given an apology. This time she actually mentions Britt in this apology. Now, whether this going to be enough for Bravo to want to bring her back, IDK. But y'all let me know if y'all feel like that's enough.
The things that you do can come back and they can hurt you. And as I've said here before, I definitely did not, I escalated the situation. I didn't need to. Kim Fields, okay? People are so mad. That was, 6-7 years ago, and rightfully so. I issued a public apology to Kim. When I was on Watch What Happens Live, they asked me, is there anything that I regret? And I was like, absolutely. I think you learn from regret. But for me, I definitely regretted pulling her chair. That was not right. She's a class act, and we are over it. Like, she invited me to come on her show to film with her just last year, the Upshaws. So wrong. I do take accountability. Another time I've taken accountability is, and these are just from what I can remember off the top of my head, was with Phaedra. I did some things with Phaedra that crossed the line. She did absolutely things that crossed the line with me. But I apologize for my part and what I did to contribute to the downfall of our friendship. And that was on the show. So I'm not sure why people didn't acknowledge that was taking accountability, but I absolutely did in that moment too. I'm not playing the victim. I am in this situation partly because of my choices. Back to the original point, I have taken accountability. So you guys just choose not to see it. It's okay, but I'm just going to remind you.
Ooh, okay. I don't know. I feel like she right. I do. I'm trying to get my hardest smack. I feel like she right. I feel like she done did that 3 times. Okay. I feel like she acknowledged it again for the 4th time. Okay. That she was wrong. Because she damn sure was. I would have exposed that in a different way. Okay. But it's given, what more do you want from me, Tyrese? Okay. But let's keep going.
So now it's time for a commercial break. And since people want to talk about snatching edges, because you can get real close. These are my edges. You can even see the little gray hairs. Okay, this is not a lace front. This is my hair. Well, not this, but this is my hair, and these are my edges. I developed Kenny Moore hair care similarly to why I developed a product line as well as a spa. I love making women look and feel good. Like, I love when women come into the salon or use my products and leave reviews and say, my hair has transformed. I have had so many customers and positive reviews before any Housewives drama had anything to do with it. My customers say more edges work. So try more edges today. You can find them online, or you can come into the shop, or you can go to CVS or Sally. So they all have different products, but we're also going to be back on Amazon. So check it out there too. Kenya Moore Hair Care. We're going to get into even more receipts, okay? I'm going to be answering questions that you guys have submitted. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Because if you don't, you won't get any notifications when I drop something new or when the juicy gossip hits the net first.
Kenya, girl, stop playing, bitch, okay? Because you sat up here and playing our faith for about a week, girl, almost 2. If we really count all the days. So if we subscribe, is you going to be on time? Hello? Are you going to be on time? Get it together, girl.
You hear it from me first, right here.
Oh, you look like we're going to be hearing from you last. Everybody's going to talk.
Why didn't you go to the producers if you were so afraid?
The answer is I did. I did go to producers. Number one, when we were there, Porsha and I stayed back while everyone was leaving, and Britt Edie was irate. She was yelling and screaming, and it was then that I heard her say the following words. That's why I keep a for like you.
Ooh.
Let me repeat that. You didn't hear it. I heard it. It didn't make the edit. That's why I keep a for like you. Yelling and screaming as she's going out, irate. I heard things knocking around. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I immediately went to the showrunner, the executive producer, and I said, what is going on? Why is she talking about what is happening? Like, Porsha can tell you that. She saw the reaction on my face. She saw that I was visibly shaken, and I was like just trying to figure things out. So I did go to the producer. Not only did I go to the producer then, I also went to the production company that night, explained what happened, and said, I don't know what's going on. We're 3 weeks into filming, and this girl we don't know is threatening to unalive me. I've been on this show for 12 seasons. I have never once had anyone threaten me with a I have not ever had anyone allude to unaliving me. So I took it seriously because it's one thing if, listen, it would never be right. But if a Porsha or, even a Drew or somebody that we know that has something to lose.
Oh, she said Brittany got in the lose.
Did you hear me say that?
Yeah.
If it was someone that we already knew, that we have been filming with for years, and we know that they have something to lose, maybe I would have taken it differently. But when someone you don't know, who basically, in my words, like you just, you found off the street, is doing all of that, you guys weren't there. You do not know how intense it got. It got so intense. So I did make my complaint. Well, I went to the police before, and honestly, I'm the only cast member there that's ever been physically attacked. Whether you say I deserved it, whether you say I did this or did that, it's obviously a polarizing conversation, and it was back then. But I was, and still am, the only one on the show that was physically attacked. So when someone is new to me.
You weren't the only one on the show that was physically attacked, but Porsha was the only bitch on the show that was out there attacking people. And they keep bringing her back. Okay, now I could have sworn her and Cynthia got into it. Am I wrong? Yeah, And she got into it. Now, Kenya, I will say, girl, this is where I went on your side. Because you was, then you had that thing in her face and say, you are a dumb hoe. Oh, shut up. Didn't you put that megaphone thing in her face? Child, that one messed it up, honey. Ooh, and who had the scepter? Was it the scepter? Did Porsha, or was it? Maybe it was two different times when Kenya had one, and maybe she had a scepter. I don't know why I thought Porsha had it. And then I know for sure Kenya had that megaphone. You are a dumb hoe. Kenya and these hoes, you are a dumb hoe. Shut up. Who is this hoe? And I had to find out who this bitch is. Girl, Kenya.
Coming around and saying that they are going to unalive me and use a on me. And then what you heard 2 or 3 more times saying they had whips and MF. That wasn't about the neighborhood.
And it wasn't about no motherfucking car, Porsha Williams, talking about something. When she said whip, I thought she was talking about Corvette, hopping in a jet like that. No, ma'am. She was not talking about that type of damn whip, and you know it. I don't know what kind of whip she was talking about. Maybe she was talking about whipping it out. I don't know what. But it was sounding dangerous to me, period. Okay? That's what it was giving. All right?
You try to change the narrative to make it benefit you because of your inaction. That's rigging the game. You're rigging the game. You clearly rigged the game against me. Listen, I'm going to leave it right there. I did what I was supposed to do. And I take a lot of umbrage to someone now saying that they didn't have a gun. And so somehow that's supposed to absolve them from everything that happened after. And we're going to show this clip where she said prior to Housewives that she keeps a gun at all times. Roll it.
My pistol with me always.
Security that's at the gas station?
I only go to gas stations that have security there. I only go to the same gas stations if I'm in the city.
Yeah.
On her Instagram, she said that wasn't her character. She did not threaten anyone with. She did not have a. She never said anything about. So we know that that was a complete lie. So we already know you're a liar. We already know she's capable of lying and trying to rig the game. Let's go back to this whole Watch What Happens Live interview where Andy asked her, did she have a gun? And she said, oh, no, I didn't have a gun. Well, I have proof otherwise. Nobody checked bags when we're filming.
I believe that.
Nobody checked cars when we're filming. You show up, you go inside, and you start to film. But weeks later, you want to say, oh, we had an investigation and found that you weren't in violation of the gun policy. Really, bitch? I did what I did. I complained to HR. I did all these other things. Now you want to do an investigation? 3 weeks have gone by? Because someone said it, well, we already know that person is a liar, right? Because we have proof, solid proof, from her own Instagram, and she lied about talking about the gun that night. So we already know you're a liar. And now we're investigating something 3 weeks after the fact because of what someone said that wants to keep their job? Oh, okay, that's okay. Hey, did you have a gun that night? No. Okay, investigation closed.
That's exactly
Can you
how
go
it went.
to the airport and say you have a and not get arrested? Can you go to the bank and say you have a and not get arrested? Can you go any place that it will put people in danger and say you have a and not be committing a crime? That's not a crime. That's not against policy. I'm just asking the question. Can you go to your job tomorrow and say, you, Joe, you gonna learn today? You don't know who the I am, Joe.
Y'all got a different type of job though, Kim. Okay, y'all got a different type of job. Can I go to the job and say fuck you? Actually, on reality TV, I feel like I can bust in the door and say that raggedy heifer, that girl, fuck you, bitch. I feel like I can. All right. Whether I should, threaten you or something like that, with bodily harm or something, like maybe not, but I at least can come through the door and tell you, you raggedy dog, heifer, hoe. Fuck you, bitch. I feel like I can. It's a different type of job. Now, I probably couldn't do that in corporate necessarily. Okay, potentially, depending on the type of job and whether I gave that much of a fuck, but I was gonna quit that bitch anyway. So yeah, fuck all you hoes in this. Possibly, you have a different one.
You gonna have some respect around here. I got whips, that's why I keep a for like you, Joe.
I'm going straight to HR.
You going to HR and the police. If that happened on Beverly Hills, you think she would be in jail?
It would never
or
happen
punished
on Beverly Hills.
or out of a job? You think if she had said that to Kyle or Teresa Giudice or any other housewife on any other show,
she won't even get the chance.
do you think she would still have a job? I'm just asking the question. Things been handled differently, I would have never felt a need to protect myself or escalate the situation. People go, oh, well, how is that protecting yourself? Because where I'm not even mention where I'm from. Where I'm from, and you may end up having to delete this, but I'm going to say it. You tell me if it's too harsh.
Oh, it was too harsh, okay? So it was a little too much. They had to edit it out.
We'll leave you alone. And they certainly wouldn't be going around playing victim. They would just go on about their business and find another target.
Child.
That's that. You want the truth? That's the truth.
Do you now feel that your retaliation allowed the new girl to trick you out of your spot?
Ooh, I don't think there's any such thing. I already had a spot. How can somebody trick? It wasn't a spot up for grabs. Like nobody snatched a peach. Everybody had a peach. So nobody tricked me out on the spot. So that does make sense.
I think it makes sense, but I think that Kenya tricked herself out of a spot. I don't think Britt did. I wouldn't give her that much credit to think that, she actually did it. You know what I'm saying? I think Kenya did it to herself ultimately. That was on you.
I feel like Cynthia threw you under the bus and it's Team Britt.
I'm not going to talk about Cynthia.
People want to know how much you make a season.
What you said?
How much I make a season? Well, I mean, I don't talk about money. When it comes to like my own money, I see a lot of crazy reports saying like my net worth is $800,000. My house is worth $3 million. Like, how is my net worth $800,000? Like, I own that much in cars. Like, just stop. Like, I think it's taggy to talk about money, so I'll just leave it at that. But I think it's decent to say that I make more than the girls that are on the show now.
Let me tell you something. When she says she made more than the girls on the show, I'm inclined to believe that. When I listened to Don Juan and we got into that video the other day where he said he felt like, they got rid of Kenya and they decided to keep Britt for financial reasons. If they can get somebody else that's willing to go the extra mile and do the most or whatever for a less price, why would they keep her? And I'm like, hey, if Candi's not there and she probably was making more than all of y'all, and then now they got Kenya coming back. Kenya probably would be the next in line because keep in mind, Porsha wasn't really there. So Kenya probably is next in line financially. So, I mean, she probably right. And then for her to have a location that she put $400,000 into, her Bravo must be paying something. Okay.
Thank you. Saved by the bell. Saved by the bell.
Will you
will I attend the reunion? I haven't been invited to the reunion. In fact, I was invited and then disinvited
What?
a few months ago.
Invited and
The
disinvited.
disrespect is insane. You know,
I need to know why she was disinvited. And when she says a few months ago, I want to know how far back. Was it when you went over to the Tamron Hall show? And when you did the Tamron Hall show, did they feel away and decide to snatch back the invite then? Why would y'all rob us of that? At least let her come. I mean, y'all let Raggedy Ralph get a confessional. So why can't she at least come and sit at the reunion or at least let her and Andy have a one-on-one or something? I mean, y'all let me know. But I mean, it would be nice if she genuinely is sorry to be able to see that sit down happen between she and Bristol Edie. I would not mind seeing that. I'm sure a Brit probably would appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess that'll never happen. Oh, so that would be still in 2025. So she got invited this year? Potentially invited this year, and then it was snatched back. I wonder when it was snatched back.
From me being someone who has always loved Real Housewives of Atlanta and always wanted to see them win, to being shut out, not given an opportunity to apologize the same way that they gave that grace to someone else on the show. I think it's really odd, right? To be erased from history of the show, to not be in the opening credits, to not have confessionals.
Right.
When Kim Zolciak left the show,
I feel like this. Y'all don't have to like Kenya, and that's fine. But I do feel like that's fucked up for them to do. Y'all used her and her situation as a moment to promote this fucking season, as a buy-in, but did not allow her any confessionals or none of that. Used as many scenes with her in it as you can, and definitely utilize the scene that y'all could have erased. Just like y'all erased Brit sitting down talking about something. I gotta talk to my mama about sucking Zick. Y'all played that all through the trailer, but y'all didn't play it on that episode. So y'all could have deleted that like y'all delete so many other things. Y'all could have not aired Kenya's thing at all. Y'all might as well just had to completely erase her as. But granted, maybe it was in her contract or something. Maybe she wanted to get paid for some episodes and was like, maybe she gave them permission to use that stuff, you know, so that she can get paid for the episodes. Not sure how her contract and stuff is set up, but I still feel like, man, that's fucked up to me personally. And even it, and let Porsha tell it, but I don't know, because Kenya also caught Porsha in a lie. But Porsha did say that Kenya was very remorseful at the time that it happened, when she was put on pause. So y'all didn't even want to give us that, for her to at least come on camera and say that she was apologetic, and for her and Brit to have that type of sit down, even if y'all suspended her for a few episodes and still brought her back before the season was over with. I don't know. Something must have happened in that room, okay, with the attorneys or something, or in them emails or something. Something must have happened, because it's not adding up.
Got a whole new show. She was in the confessional. She was a peach holder. You got girls taking glasses and knocking each other upside the head with real glasses on Jersey.
And Beverly
You've had people
Hills,
talking
they
about
did it
porn
there too.
on Jersey. You've had people exposing a real life revenge porn case on Vanderpump Rules.
Ooh.
They're working. They haven't been made to look like a scumbag or a villain. Really? That's how I'm treated? That's pretty bad, I would say. So I don't anticipate an invitation. Yeah, I don't see that.
Why don't we promote the salon more?
I've always been struggling with building a team. That's why I always admired Kandi so much, because she has this awesome team. She has an amazing team and she totally gets it. Sure. But you need help. And so when I'm just building out the salon and I'm out of all this money, $400,000, I'm fighting with the landlord about giving me my little $80,000 back in my TI. Obviously, I built a whole new, top floor, put all this money into it. And then thinking about, okay, now I'm going to put even more money in hiring a team and doing this and doing that. It just felt like I can handle it. Let's just, I'm not going to throw good money after bad. We're just going to let a year go by and see how it goes. I've been open for over a year and a half, about a year and a half, I think. At least a solid year. And what I have loved the most about this salon is the women, the customers that come in and are so happy with the results. The smiles, the repeat customers, like we have 85% repeat customers. And then when the Housewives show airs and the whole scandal airs, I have all these strangers from all over the country leaving bad reviews. We go from 4.9 Google reviews rating to 4.4. And every day there's somebody saying something crazy to try to hurt my business. If you don't like me, you don't have to like me. If you don't like what I did, you don't have to like what I did. But why are you coming after my business? The same, it's a culture that it can be very beneficial to you because I have a lot of supporters and Team Twirl is awesome. But then when you have these bad seeds and people that don't think things through and just try to spew hate in your direction, that's what makes it really bad. That's not fair to the customers that really get great service when they come here. And it's up to them. If you don't want to come to the salon, stay at home.
Stay at home.
It's as simple as that. You don't have to come here. But why are you trying to ruin other people from coming here and having great experiences? I work so hard sometimes I'll step in and do a head spa. If I don't have a stylist, Walter can tell you that. If I don't have a stylist for the day or someone calls out, I don't want to let anyone down. So I'll put, my shampoo gloves on, or I'll shampoo someone's hair, or I'll do a deep conditioning treatment because I want everyone to believe in the space and have an amazing time when they're here. And that was always my vision.
The girls want to know what you got in the works.
Ew. I always keep things close to the vest until when it's almost out. So I have got a lot of different projects that people will be able to see me and my daughter in. And I'm just really so happy about that. But again, you don't know anything until after, it's in the can. You know what I mean? Even if I've been shot in a movie, I don't talk about the movie until I know it's being released and I've seen it and I'm in it. So I want to thank you guys for listening to me today. Listen, we don't have time for everything. I'm not on RHOA right now, right? But my influence is still there. People are still obsessed. People are still using my taglines. People are still coming for me. And I'm not even there. So listen, I ain't still the moment. And I'm really happy that you guys enjoying me today. So comment and subscribe. And listen, I'm going to twirl on out here. I'm still in my chair. And I'm still twirling, honey.
All right, y'all. So that's the interview with Kenya. I did see a post over on the Jasmine brand. See, give it some time to come up on the screen. But there was a report on the Jasmine brand about Kenya Moore filing for a trademark for her daughter. So it says Kenya Moore files trademark for daughter Brooklyn, covering kids, clothes, toys, and books following her Real Housewives of Atlanta exit. So it seems like she may be leaning more into the career of her daughter. However, she did get in the comments and she said this was actually last year when she filed on the trademark. And she said that was last year before she released her now best-selling history-making book and is soon to be an animated series. Now when she says animated series, I do question, is this gonna be like on a network or is it gonna be like an animated series for like YouTube or something? Which I think actually would be good because if it's for YouTube, I feel like you'll have more creative control over it. If it's on YouTube and me having my little man, my little Tookie Wookie, he likes to watch all the little stuff. But anywho, I feel like them people be making bank like Miss Rachel. Maybe not as much as Miss Rachel, but they be up there making coinage, okay? So her leaning more so into her beautiful little daughter might be great. And that money that she took out that baby college fund and put that $400,000 over there, she probably gonna get that back like this if she does actually put the consistency, the time. Actually, you're gonna have to get you a team. In my personal, there's just some stuff you just gonna have to take an L on or whatever. Get you a good team and really focus on that. I think she'll make that money back like hella quick. But that's what all Miss Miss Kenya Moore had to say. I mean, it wasn't much that was surprising. It's not a lot that we didn't kind of already know about the situation and how everything played out. Very unfortunate overall, and it just leave Miss Bristol in a position to feel like she even more of that girl, because she may feel like she got you up off the show. I mean, some of her, because she has supporters too, may feel like you did that, you got her up off, but I don't think so. I think Kenya did that to herself. But yeah, do y'all think she gonna be back next season? I wonder. I mean, it's possible, but then when I see, like I said in another video, and this is for the people that may not have seen that video, when we talked about Real Housewives of Potomac and having Nneka on that show, it was so much outrage about Nneka that Nneka didn't get renewed for another season. So they might listen to the audience as much as I feel like they don't give a damn what the audience is talking about, because I think there are more people that would rather see Kenya than not. And she's still not there. So I mean, they might care enough to be like, well, this was cute. Okay. Kelly's a hit. Angela's a hit. But you, unfortunately, you can actually hit it because we won't be using you for another season. I don't know what they're going to say to her. So we'll have to see, child. And maybe she might make the decision to exit stage left her damn self, the way y'all over there digging in the archives, pulling up this lady's information. Okay. And I saw y'all over there trying to clock a little tea over there on Angela, but that ain't none of my business. Okay. That ain't none of my trying to go all up in her stuff too, going in her records. Girl, the people be ruthless, don't they? Child. Well, that's that. Know what you said? They better. What you said? Let me go back up. They better. This was the controversy the show needed. I guess so. Definitely got the people tuned in. It gave us enough time to buy into a few of the characters, which would be Angela and Kelly for me, for us to see what else is going on. Because honestly, and it's no disrespect to Bristol Edie, but like, I mean, I don't really know nothing else about her. She does insurance, but I haven't seen her working yet. I mean, we've seen Kelly go to her restaurant. Even though she has some setbacks with the restaurant, we've seen that. We've seen, what's her name, Angela, go to one of her investment properties that they're working on. But I haven't quite seen Britt. I can't recall. Only thing I've seen Britt do was sit down and talk to people every episode about Kenya Moore. So I don't know what else, but hopefully we'll get to see more from her. So when Kenya says that she was boring, yikes, I'm just gonna say we haven't seen enough just yet, and in addition, I feel like we saw the issue with Angela and her sister. I'm sorry, her daughter. And then we also saw Kelly and her kids. Now, Britt did give us the situation where her and her sisters are. Her sisters have not been as close. So she is trying to give us that, but not so much as business. So I don't know if she got this master class. Maybe we'll see that, how she's teaching other people with this master class that she has. We'll have to see, you know. Um so we'll see. Yes, Bristol as in Brit Pistol. Yes, Brit and Pistol equals Bristol. Or Britannica if you want to be smart. Okay, but that's all I really got. I just wanted to get into the audio and stuff, video, with you guys to see how you all are feeling about the video and stuff. I don't know if you guys heard what I heard, but I do feel like Kenya Moore has taken accountability more than once. I don't know what else it is going to take. I don't know. Maybe she should get on the phone or send a personal message, because according to Miss Bristol, she told Kenya she need to humble herself. She said, you giving apologies to everybody, but I haven't heard one. She mentioned your name this time, okay? But she's like, she ain't get on the phone and talk to her though, and it was like a year later. So I don't know, but we shall see, honey. But that would be some crazy type of transition if they got rid of Bristol and brought back Kenya. That would be crazy. But anywho, y'all continue the conversation down below. Leave your thoughts and everything. Of course, I am Jami, that's me. I appreciate you guys for being here with me. So yeah, I know, let me see. What time is he doing his thing? I know Rodney the Voice is going live tonight. So if y'all want to continue the conversation more, y'all make sure y'all go follow RHONY the Voice. Get down in them comments and stuff, and chat with RHONY about it as well, because he's gonna do a recap later on tonight. But that's all that I got. All right, I'm Jami, that's me, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye.
Preach to the choir, stand with my feet to the fire, give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim, putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel the pool.